rainfall of Antigua and Barbuda. Last year we got 18 inches of rain. And from all indications, unless we get some rain in the second half of this year, we could have less than 18 inches this year. So they get 50 something inches, we get 18. And here's a situation in which our government would have gone the extra mile to install these RO plants to make sure we can supply the people. So we can say definitively to the people of Antigua and Barbuda that we'll supply the full demand because we have made investments. But the point I'm making here is that droughts are not uncommon considering the effects of climate change. I mean, they're literally affecting even powerful nations, as you indicated, in the United States. You have California, for example. They are now seeking to introduce water rationing. And that is why we are asking for voluntary effort here by our people to try and conserve water. Water is a precious and expensive resource. The cost of production as well. We have not increased the price of water by a cent. But our people has to help us. I mean, water here is very cheap. I believe that we have the cheapest water rates in the Caribbean and beyond. So, again, it's costing us more in terms of the capital expenses. And let us understand, that APU has had to borrow in order to install those plants. They're paying about 10% interest. Well, if I'm exaggerating, maybe about 7% interest on the loan, 8% maximum. So that's a cost in itself. Then they're consuming more electricity. So theoretically, EPA would have had compelling reasons to increase the cost of water. But our government's policy is to keep the rate of water artificial low. I, however, signal to the people of Antigua and Barbuda sometime in the future, in order to contain the wastage of water, that we may have to look at increases down the road. And I believe in being straight up with the people, no one should construe this as there's any policy decision of my administration to increase water rates. All I'm saying here is that it is one of the ways to control the profligate use of water. So if, for example, you have you keep the rate as it is to protect the poor and the vulnerable, but you decide at a consumption level beyond a particular point that they have to pay an increased rate, those who, for example, are prioritizing using potable water to lawn to water the lawns and so on, then you'll be able to reduce that profligate use of water. So those are the people we're targeting, not the poor and the vulnerable people. And at some point, that type of policy decision has to be made. And if not by our administration in the future, by some future administration. So I just literally flagging that. But I want to make it abundantly clear that there's no decision of my government to introduce new tariffs. And in any case, we understand what is happening globally and the need for us to keep prices down. So it is not an issue that is under consideration. But I know that our political colleagues, they will try and, our opponents, I would say, they will try and spin it. But that's fine, because people are not stupid. They know the truth. But again, you can see that we have been proactive, and that we can say definitively to the people of Antigua and Barbuda that the issue will be resolved, and that we'll be able to provide enough potable water to satisfy the national demand for every citizen, every resident.